I have met hundreds of people starting or leading nonprofit organizations over the years. I've seen nonprofits that have gotten started and then closed up shop within just a couple of years. And then I've seen other nonprofits who have become sustainable and increased and grown their reach and impact in their communities for years to come. And whenever I meet a new nonprofit founder, there's generally one thing that sticks out about them that tends to be a pretty good indicator of whether or not they'll be successful in their efforts. So in this video, I'm going to talk about that one thing and why it has the type of power and influence it has to determine your success in creating an impact and in the nonprofit world, and how you can tap into it to increase your own odds of success in the nonprofit or social impact world too. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Amber Melanie Smith. I am a nonprofit founder and executive director. I love making these YouTube videos to help folks just starting their social impact or nonprofit journeys. If you're looking for help or resources, check out my website, foundertofulltime.com. And don't forget to subscribe and like this video and ring the bell for alerts for the next time I post another one. All right, the suspense is real, I'm sure. Here it is. Here's the one thing that influences your success most at starting or leading a nonprofit. You ready? Knowing your why. Your why is essentially why you do what you do. Your purpose, your beliefs, your motivations, all rolled into one. I know it sounds like some mystical force, but it actually has real life practical applications that can determine your success. This idea of knowing your why or starting with your why was made popular by speaker and author Simon Sinek. In his TED Talk and throughout his writing, Simon makes the case that the organizations and businesses that are the most successful are those that start with their why. They align their activities and their strategies around their why, their purpose, their values, their meaning first, instead of coming up with a business plan or tactical or action plan based on what they want to do or how they want to do it first. And for nonprofits with missions of changing their communities and their worlds for their better, this is even more important. Not just that, but knowing your why and knowing how to articulate in simple terms what your why is to people and audiences around you is one of the most critical things you can do when you're starting a nonprofit to make sure it will grow and thrive. But why? For nonprofits, this is true for 3 reasons. 1, being able to explain your deep core why inspires people to trust you and to join you. That's join you to volunteer, join your board of directors, join you as a partner organization or partner, and join you as a donor. When you start a nonprofit, 3 of the biggest, most important tasks you'll have to do include developing an effective program that genuinely meets the needs of your community, building alliances and partnerships, and raising money. And all of those are pretty much impossible if you don't have enough people who trust you and want to join in your cause to support it. So how do you get people to join your cause and feel inspired to support it? I'm thinking you know the answer by now. You share your why in your messaging, on social media, on your website, in your day-to-day conversations. Put it out there clearly and often, and the people who align with your why, align with your values and your purpose and your vision are going to be drawn to you and want to support you. It's not magic, it's good marketing. The second reason this works and is so effective at ensuring your nonprofit's success is that knowing and sharing your why enables you to define your values. Your values, of course, are the rules around which your organization will operate as it works towards its mission. Will your organization emphasize a value of kindness? What about truth and transparency? What about fair and equitable treatment of your team or staff? Since your purpose in starting a nonprofit in the first place is to somehow, some way make your community better, doing it with high ethical, moral standards and with compassion is going to ensure that you build loyalty and trust amongst those who are following your cause and help them stick around for the long haul. Let's connect the dots here for a moment. Let's say your big why is that you believe people should be able to live and work with dignity. But you're running an organization where you're not paying your staff a living wage. Are you living up to your why and the values that in theory align with your why? No, in this case. And not aligning with the values that you proclaim and your why is going to mean people are going to stop trusting you. And that could mean that they withdraw their support, whether that's their volunteer support or their financial support or other types of support. It's all about doing what you say you're going to do, essentially. People trust that, they want to support that. So figure out your why and align your values around that, and then live out your values day to day. And the third reason that your why can help determine your success as an organization is that knowing your why motivates and inspires you to push through the hard challenges. I've said this before, but starting a nonprofit is hard. You're gonna face many roadblocks and challenges. But if you know your why and you wake up every morning knowing this why, then all of those roadblocks and obstacles are just gonna feel like minor hiccups, not the end of the world. My personal why is that I want every person around me to be able to live up to their potential to change the world. And I have failed at more initiatives and projects than I can count. But knowing that that's my why has enabled me to continue and to thrive off of small victories. Doing my organization's work and doing these videos for you, they all help me achieve my ultimate goal, helping people identify and live up to their potential to make an impact in the world around them. So what's your why? If you're not sure, that's okay. Let's figure it out. Ultimately, knowing your deep core why and then living up to the values that match that why are going to allow you to attract support and grow and thrive so that you can fulfill your social impact mission as a nonprofit organization. But if you're not quite sure what your why is or how to explain it to others, you can figure it out by writing a why statement. Here are 5 quick questions you can ask yourself to figure out your why and write it in a why statement. In fact, go ahead and grab a piece of paper or open a document on your computer or draw it in a journal, whatever you want to do. Question number 1 is, who cares? Why should your mission matter to other people and the world? You know that it does. It's just about explaining why. Question number 2 is, what are your core beliefs and how do those influence how you lead others and lead your organization or your cause? Number 3 is, what was the moment you realized that doing this work was what you wanted to do? What was happening in that moment that made that the moment you made your decision? Question number 4 is, why do you feel like this work is worth it despite all the challenges you might be facing or will face? And finally, ask a team member or a friend, why did they want to get involved in this work with you? What inspired them to join up? Look for patterns in your answers. Maybe you'll find that a strong belief that everyone deserves dignity is your why. Maybe it's a belief that everyone should be inspired every day, like Simon Sinek says. Whatever your why, lead with that in your introduction of your cause to others and watch what happens. Now I want to hear from you. What's your why? Are you starting a nonprofit or a social impact project? What beliefs or values or purpose is driving you to do it? Share in the comments below. And as always, if you need some help on the steps to start a nonprofit, check out my website, foundertofulltime.com, and also consider joining my newsletter for nonprofit leaders and change makers, where I send out resources and opportunities and information and news that will help you make an impact in the world. I hope you found this video helpful or at least inspirational. Don't forget to like this video, ring the bell for alerts, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Final thought, if you're on Facebook, check out my group, Change the World or Bust. We've got lots of folks in there from around the world making an impact, and I hope you can join us. See you next time. Bye.